this frog bar, we're going to demo how to open oysters and what to look for. Oysters, you want them firmly closed, not open like this guy here. When they're open, that means they're dead or in the process of dying. Lots of bacteria. Don't want to eat those, you'll get sick. First step with oysters, you can either wash them with a wire brush to get all the dirt and debris off them, or put them in a bowl of cold water and just use the friction of the shells to clean off any of the dirt or debris that's living or growing on the outside of the shells. After they're washed, we want to drain them off really good. And then we're going to take our oyster knife here and pop these things open. Here I got 3 different varieties of oysters, mixture of Eastern and West Coast. Preference really varies depending on the person. Oysters, because they live in the waters, they eat different items in the regions they grow, so each oyster is going to have its unique and diverse flavor. I prefer East Coast oysters, but then again, it's a preference thing. So with the oysters, what we're going to do is we're going to take the oyster right here where the muscle is, wedge our oyster knife in here, separate the muscle from the shell, and pop the oyster open. These things are very sharp. You don't want to poke yourself with them. I recommend using a towel, holding the oyster firmly, placing the knife in between the muscle, and then wedge it in and just twist, and they pop right open. And then with our knife, we'll just open this up really quick. This one's not cooperating with me too well. And as what happens sometimes, we actually broke the shell on this one. Not a big deal. Add a bunch more. Again, wedge it in here where the muscle is. Turn, twist till you hear the pop. Wedge your knife through here, revealing all the goodness inside. You don't want to lose all this natural juice in here, because again, where the oysters eat and live, they soak up all the nutrients and all the flavors of where they're sitting. Here at the Frog Bar, we'll serve them up on crushed ice. Because it is a raw product, we want to keep them nice and fresh and cold when they come out to the table. And once you practice this many times, they'll shuck right open. It gets pretty easy after a while, but you want to be careful. You don't want to poke yourself with these sharp oyster knives, because they will do some damage. And each oyster is attached to the shell by a little muscle on the inside. Take your knife and loosen that up so it's free from the shell. You can eat them with great ease. And then what we tend to do here at the Frog Bar is we'll serve them over crushed ice on a plate like this. A little fresh seaweed for some color. You can eat it. It really doesn't taste of anything. It is seaweed. And then we serve it with our house-made cocktail sauce and a traditional mignonette sauce. Mignonette is traditionally made from vinegar, peppercorn, and shallot. Here, what I've done, I take a mignonette and I make it with fresh cucumber, rice vinegar, a little bit of shallot, a little bit of sugar. We puree it in a blender and freeze it. Once it's frozen, it's more like a cucumber rice, and we take our spoon and kind of shave it off like this. And then what you can do is shave this off, put it right on top of the oyster here, slurp it right down, adds a little flavor, uniqueness to the oyster. And that's how we do oysters here at the Frog Bar in Chicago.